All right, crew. So this video should hopefully be the shortest, which I know looking at um, these problems look pretty crazy. So you think this would be the longest video, but now that we have all of our rules for exponents, now we can just use them. Just use them to simplify. So let's get right to it. All right, please remember our kind of 5 rules here. Multiply. When we're multiplying exponential terms, you add the exponents. When you're dividing exponential terms, you subtract the exponents. When you have an exponent to an exponent, you multiply. 0 exponent means you have 1, and then if you have a negative exponent, you have to transfer it to either whatever is the opposite. So if it's in the numerator, you move it to the denominator. If it's in the denominator, move it to the numerator to make it positive. When it comes to these types of problems, there's no real order to it. There's a general kind of order, and I'll do my best to kind of lead you through that. But ultimately, there are a couple things I can guarantee. Number 1 is that no negative. You know what? I'm going to type this. There are no negative or 0 exponents in your answer. Those should be taken care of. They're either going to be made positive or with the 0 exponents, they just disappear. So no negative or 0 exponents in the answer. Number 2, I can guarantee that there will only be one of each type of variable left. So what that means is if your problem has x's and y's, in the end you should only have one x. Now it could be x to x squared, could be x to the 7th, it could be x to the 7th and y to the 6th, but you'll only have one x and one y if you have x's and y's in your answer. All right, so let's take a look. Those are the 2 basics that I can tell you about your answers. This is how you know you're done, because there's a lot going on and you might not be sure when you're done. These 2 are a guarantee. Okay, so this is what I mean. We're going to use our 5 rules to simplify this. Now it looks pretty crazy. There's a lot going on. A lot of numbers, a lot of variables. First off, if it helps you, separate everything by multiplication. And so what I mean is you can do 2 times x squared times y squared. To me, that makes things it's a useless step in the terms of we know it's all multiplication, but you can certainly do that if that helps you. I am not going to. All right, so here we go. Looking at it, we have one negative exponent. We have no parentheses, so we don't have to worry about that. So why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and deal with the negative exponent first. That x to the negative 3, let's just bring it up to the top. Let's add it to the party. There's all kinds of stuff happening up top, so let's just add it. And I don't mean add it, I mean multiply it. So here we go. Let's rewrite the top. It's another buddy here, times x to the 3rd. And on the bottom, the 3 stays. Please remember the 3 is separate from the x to the negative 3. The only thing that moves is the base and the exponent. All right. Now from there, we have no more negative exponents. So far, so good. We don't have 0, we don't have negative exponents. Now, we need to simplify this to where we only have one x and one y. So here's what you're going to do. Everything on top is being multiplied. So deal with the top, then deal with the bottom. And when you look at the bottom, it looks pretty good. There's nothing you can combine. But up top, check this out. Numbers still multiply as numbers. So 2 times 4 times 3. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3, 24. Cool. All right, 24. How many x's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 x's up top. Cool. And then on the bottom, how many y's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so that's our rule, mad seam. When we multiply, we add the exponents. MA. Multiply, we add the exponents. We're going to use the DS part for the bottom then, because, well, the bottom's going to stay the same for now. But what I mean is, when we divide, we subtract the exponents. Now, Numbers still divide like numbers. 24 divided by 3, that's 8. X squared, there's no other x, it's staying. I'm sorry, if I said squared, I meant x to the 8th. Now you have y to the 8th, y squared on the bottom. 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. 8 x to the 8th, y to the 6th. Now I do want to see your work for these. Please make sure to take a picture of work. I'm going to pause and take a picture. All right, the next problem. All right. So, taking a look at this, survey the damage here on top. 3x squared, y squared, no negative exponents, nothing to combine. Let's take a look at the bottom. Why don't we take care of that negative exponent first? We need to make it positive. All right, and while I'm thinking about it, sorry to switch gears here, but check it out. There's only one x and one y in our answer, so we did our job. There's no zero or negative exponents, and there's only one x, one y. Just as a heads up. All right, sorry. Just remembered that I need to mention that, so let's move that up to the top where it will become positive. And it's just another x being multiplied. And everything down at the bottom, 2 is separate, is going to stay in the bottom. So there you go. Negative and zero exponents taken care of. No parentheses, nothing to deal with there. So let's just simplify what we can from there. As in, up top, nothing you can really do except for this right here. Put your x's together. So you have 3 x to the third y squared. All right, on the bottom, you have your numbers to multiply. 8, and then nothing to combine here, but let's go ahead and put x squared. I'm going to put x squared. I'm going to change the order because now, so that was adding the exponents because we're multiplying. We added the exponents for that x to the third. Numbers still multiply like numbers. Now we're going to do, when you divide, you are going to subtract exponents. Now 3 over 8, that I don't want to even worry about the division. I'm going to keep it as a fraction. I would suggest you do the same. 3 minus 2 is 1. There are more x's on top than on the bottom, and there are more y's. One more y on top, so you can cancel a y on both the top and the bottom to get your answer. All right, I'm going to take another picture, pause the video. All right, 2 more to go. Here we go. So now we do have a set of exponents. Now, no fractions yet. That negative exponent should tell you differently, that we will end up with some kind of fraction. But for right now, no fractions. But we do have parentheses exponent to an exponent. So that's, if you're thinking mad seam, the MA, the DS, EEM. Exponent to exponent means you're going to multiply. So you're going to multiply that negative 3 to the 1 exponent, the 0 exponent, and the 2. So that's going to look like 2 to the negative 3. It'll be x to the 0. Might as well just make that a 1 for now. And then y to the negative 6. All right, nothing happening to 2x to the third at the moment. All right, so now I'm going to make both of these fractions because what's going to happen is 2 to the negative 3 goes to the denominator. Same with y to the negative 6. So you're going to end up with 1 on top. You can move this down a little bit. And let me make this a different color. 1 on the top. We made this positive by moving it to the denominator. Same with this. And then this is going to stay. Now, when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. But this is going to become one fraction. It's going to be 2y x to the third over 2 to the third y to the sixth. becomes 1 fraction. So then all you have to do is, let me see if I can move all of this good over. What you're going to do then is just simplify from there. There is only 1, 2 on the top, 3 on the bottom, so you can cancel 1 from the top and the bottom. That leaves 2 squared. You can cancel 1y from both the top and the bottom. That leaves 5 of them on the bottom. And the x to the third is going to stay on the top. It's not going to go anywhere. You can simplify that just a little bit more. 2 squared is 4. You don't have to leave it in exponential form here. All right, and that'll do it for that one. 1 second. All right, final problem. Holy cow, there's a lot going on there. Now, I really like these problems because it's just kind of funny. I'll be honest. Now, obviously, I can't see you, but it'd be kind of funny to watch you freak out and look at this because here's the thing. Here's the nice thing about this last problem. There's a 0 exponent on the outside of the parentheses. Now, the rule is that 0 means you're multiplying it to every exponent in the problem. Here's the deal. You don't have to, because anything to the 0 power is going to be 1. So everything in here becomes 1. So it'll be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which just means that when you have that 0 exponent, it's just going to be 1 on top. That makes your problem a whole lot easier. Look for that. Not going to happen often, but when it does, it's really nice. Because that means that everything in here becomes 1. Because everything, remember, think of it like a pod. That whole pod gets the 0 exponent, so it becomes a 1. Perfect. From there, just deal with your negative exponents. So actually, everything moves up to the top. Everything with a negative exponent moves up to the top. So you're just going to write it as h to the third, j to the fourth, k squared all over 2. So what looked like the most complicated problem ends up being one of the easier ones. All right. Other than that, guys, take care. Let me know if you have any questions.